I will call you back. I'm in the studio.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iori Folare. Today, our guest is a well-known name in Nigeria, in the sense that he is Nwafo Orizu. In fact, our guest is Prince Ekenyem Nwafo Orizu, APC chieftain, son of Nigeria's first Senate president and first acting president of Nigeria. Prince, thank you very much for coming on our program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed, it is our pleasure. And what we're going to be talking about, seeing as you are a top-notcher from the Southeast, it's the Southeast's quest for Senate presidency. Now, you're an APC chieftain. You know full well what your party has decided up to now. But it will seem that because these conversations are ongoing, the matter is still live. It's like that's not the end of it, the way your party has pronounced. Could you give me the background, sir, to why you feel that there is a need to continue? And, in the course of that, we'll understand where your preferences lie. If, for instance, you had a name in mind, apart from you do want the Senate presidency to come to the Southeast.
Thank you very much. Basically, from what you have even said, you meant the matter has not been settled. And people move around saying the party has zoned this Senate presidency to the South-South. Let me correct emphatically that impression. The party has not zoned to anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. They had merely advised what their wish or preference will be. That is not zoning. In the first place, the man who read it in Mocha said they were told, they were instructed kind of, from then the president-elect, now the president, to the National Working Committee what his choice is. He has a right to choose as a party member. But it's also very important to know that zoning or consensus in a situation is not a new principle, but it has some ingredients that must also precede the finality of it. Very essential part of that ingredient is consultation. So, if they had consulted, knowing very well that there are people from Southeast and from other parts of Nigeria who legitimately and single-handedly won their elections in their different senatorial districts, it will only be correct and right to consult them and say your wish, convince them. If they agree, then you have zoned. If you say your wish and impose it and say it's zoning, that is exactly what is bringing this bickering and not agreeing, because they don't understand at what point it was zoned and what was considered and what was not considered. And they have a right, because we're talking of the Senate. We're not talking of general election. So everybody has a right, apart from the Senate rule that made some provision for ranking senators. Mm-hmm. So every individual there has a right to run for that post.
Indeed.
They made a ruling in the Senate to give privilege to ranking senators. But even at that, you must also realize that APC is not the only party with senators. So, the convention had always been the ruling party because maybe they may have majority of the senators. But indeed, it is not a special preserve for any ruling party to produce a presiding officer. If the opposition parties feel and have the numbers, they can take it, which means it's outside the control of APC. So while we are saying APC has zoned, which I don't think is wrong to emphasize it that way, they also don't have the monopoly of it. Let me give you an example before we narrow down to Southeast. Let me give you an example. You find out that in the Senate, as we are talking today, the oppositions made up of all different parties, apart from APC, they have 50 members. And the Senate itself has 109 members in totality. So when opposition has 50 members, and the ruling party, APC, our party, has 59 members, I want you to imagine a scenario where the 50 members in the opposition gang up together and agree, and then poach some APC senators who are also free to vote where they like, and may not also like whomever we present, and pick up 5 candidates, 5 senators. They will have 55, and we will have 54. At that point, will you be talking about APC and their zoning and their zoning? So we have to be very careful when we say that. Coming precisely to the Southeast, we had tried to make our case that the Senate presidency should come to the Southeast. It is clear. It is very clear. The Southeast, where I come from inception of APC 2012-2013, we had always been there doing our bid. And we have actually, if I remember very well, not been favored with any post at the party level, at the governance level, at the appointment level. So, how do we justify that before our people? Every region has its own peculiarity they deal with. We have ours. Our people feel so marginalized generally. It has nothing to do with APC alone. So we there in the Southeast, we have an uphill task to convince and let our people know the reason why some of us are in APC and why they should join us. But you know, in politics or even in life, it's a give and take situation. Since that 2013 to now, think back and tell me substantially what the Southeast has gotten in APC. So what am I going to go home with? To tell my people that this is what I got from this my effort, and for that reason, they should follow me. So we have to be very, very careful not to consider the plight of South. Look at even the South-South. They have gotten something from APC. By far, as we are talking now, the Deputy Senate President is from South-South. Under APC is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So what do I go back? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so when you put it like this, I think you're emphasizing that under APC. Otherwise, if it's a national matter, it's a matter of Nigeria. The Southeast has not been short of appointments. It has been Senate President on quite a number of occasions. But if you are saying that, no, under APC, so that what do we go home and tell our people we are benefiting from APC? Would you agree that it's not, if it was a matter of, Senate presidents of Igbo extraction, although the expression we use is Southeast, that has not been lacking?
Yeah, but that is the point. If we enlarge it to the general Nigerian situation and Southeast, it will tip us off the topic of the day. And I wouldn't want to divert to the general marginalization, which every region can claim. It's not going to be very helpful in today's conversation. I'm talking like you really introduced me as an APC member, a chieftain from onset. And we are talking that APC is in power as we are talking today. And we are also talking that one of the things some people are saying, which I fault vehemently, is that we cannot reap where we did not sow. In APCs, that's their reason. There's some people were trying to come up with, oh, it was zoned to the South-South because we didn't support the distance. How many votes did we get? So in that context is what I am saying, all I'm saying. The APC, what have they done to the people of Southeast? We must confine it to the context so that people will understand what we're saying.
Indeed. But do you have an issue with that line of expression that, look, when it comes to what happened in the Southeast during the election, there was, you've just said it, there were no supportive votes there for the candidate of your party, APC. So the conversation, the narration is going. Some are now wondering, well, why would you now turn around and, for instance, Oji Uzo Kalu, a son of the Southeast, has said before that, well, even if people didn't vote this time for APC at the presidential, next time they can vote. Now, those are the kind of things that are being heard. Can you understand when people are saying what you've just said is unfair, which is that how many votes did the Southeast bring to the table? How would you explain that?
I will explain that. I'm not talking from Oji Uzo Kalu's point of view. I am talking from my point of view as a member of APC. I'm also talking from the point of view that the person I am actually supporting vehemently, unflinchingly, is Senator Osti Izunaso. I'm not supporting him simply because he is Osti Izunaso, but I want to take you straight to that point you made about Oji Uzo Kalu. In the Southeast, when people say we didn't vote the way they expected in the Southeast for APC, I fault it. Number one, our input, we that are there, our input to make the party stand in a very volatile situation and environment of the Southeast that feels so marginalized, irrespective of which party that comes in. You know, we have a presidential candidate from there. We cannot say we don't understand the impact of a presidential candidate coming from a region. If you had given us the presidency, which we felt was our turn, because Nigeria works on that trajectory. Forget what people say, merit or so. It is our turn when it has come to the South. It should have come to Southeast. That's not the matter for today. But the issue is, if we had had that opportunity to have brought in a presidential candidate, we will sweep the Southeast 100%. That is exactly, when Labour Party did that, you can see the result of Peter Obi. We could have as well done that. So the party in the first place should have also zoned that to us, meritoriously and for justice and fairness. So people also, when they watch these things, they are still feeling the same marginalization playing out. So nobody can blame us. But there is something very important to say. We worked harder than the people whose region brought out the president. Because the people in the Southeast were having their reservation why we should go to APC. We don't agree with them. Because we know that APC is a party in Nigeria, and we have to work with parties to get what we want. And we are there. And you are telling me, or somebody is telling me, because I have a 5%, when you gave me nothing, ab initio, from the inception, have we been given opportunity to be Senate President? Have we been given opportunity to be President, presidential candidate? So you think you just send me to the forest with bare hands to kill a lion? People should be very honest with themselves. Give us that situation. And that's exactly what we're saying. Very important. We are saying that in 1999, the PDP did not vote for Obasanjo. The Southeast did. So, was the Southwest punished for that? Obasanjo was smart. He went in, gave them some good ministerial portfolios, gave them some good conditions, and they came into the national fold. So you don't say, because you did not do this, we hammer you immediately. What did you give us ever before? The people behave that way. How do you consider people like us, who are seriously stigmatized, harassed. And we still kept our cool, working hard for the party. Why don't you give us something worth it so that we can go home and tell our brothers, we told you, this is what we're coming back with. But now they can actually look us on the face and tell us, we told you, that nothing will come out of it. So that is the dilemma some of us, like Senator Nassau, even not Joseph Carlo, who got into the party later. We're talking of Senator Nassau, who was from inception there. The first interim national organizing secretary, the first substantial organizing secretary, who managed the party, organizing secretary for 5 years, and was able to get our power from PDP as the first organizing secretary of a new party. He has stayed in National Assembly, worked there as a staff in the press secretary to Agunwane 1992, speaker, press secretary to Evans Enwerem, senator, went there 2003 as a House Rep member, went there as senator 2007, has served this party. This word, Emiloko, wouldn't it come to him? Is it not also his turn? When the president-elect, then now president, was saying Emiloko, he was right, talking to APC members. I gave him so much, it's my turn. We are saying Ostis Nassau also had given so much from inception. The people who are running with him just came into the party in 2019 and 2017. Ojuzo Kalu came from PDP. Akpabio came from PDP. And they were castigating this party when we were there, suffering. So you have to consider this reward system. It can't just be a Miloko for executive. It can also be a Miloko for the legislature. Mm-hmm. And those cities, so you know him, you have his record. He has no baggage. Not because he's a saint, but he had comported himself to the four corners of good conduct. He's amenable, he's reachable.
Now, I don't know how quite to go, because you used a painful word in there, as you were saying. You were speaking about being stigmatized. And of course, as you know, I hear that there's no room for that kind of a thing within APC, but you would know better. Stigmatization.
I didn't hear you very well.
I said you used the word stigmatization, that, your people were being stigmatized. And I was saying that, not that I'm in the party, you would know better. Yeah.
No, sorry. I mean, no. I'm saying not APC. I'm saying our people in the Southeast. We are stigmatizing us from Southeast who are in APC.
Okay.
Saying we are joining. Yeah. It's our people, not the party. Our people were stigmatizing us, their brothers, as saboteurs living for APC. And we didn't find it as right.
Okay, Prince. I do, Prince. Thank you for the clarification. It was my mistake. But now, you see, there's a sense in which we can say this is a family matter within the APC, of which you are no, small member. But I wanted to ask you, what is the part of party supremacy and party discipline in all of this? Because you said at the very top that as far as you are concerned, the guidance, or whatever anybody wants to call it, that the party has done, as far as you are concerned, that's not the best. So I would ask, as a senior member of APC, party discipline, how about that? The primacy of the party. If the party has said this, and you have just said that what they are reported to have said does not really wash with you, how is that going to work?
No, you didn't get me. I said that party supremacy that we believe in. We had been in the party, we had been obedient. And then, but what I'm saying is, before you mention party supremacy, there are ingredients that make whatever they say supreme. And part of that ingredient is that they have to consult when they have an issue they want to take a position on. And I'm saying that they did not do that this time around. And that is why you see people trying to reject what the party have said and put themselves off, not not just people from the southeast, there are people from other areas. Why are they doing so? They feel that the matter was not handled well. If you don't consult a competitor and go and choose somebody, it's like you just voted for the person, and the other person can say, wait a minute, I can pick up some votes from somewhere. And if you look at what I'm saying, why you'll understand it better, is the party is now trying to consult. Why are they consulting now if they had actually zoned it? If it was cast on stone, if they had done it and it was sealed, why are they consulting? This they are doing now should have been done earlier than now. Let's just get it clear. If the party says something, just 1 second, if the party says something and everybody agrees with it, believe you me, my candidate, Justice Nassau, will not say no. He's a builder. He built the party along with others, so why would he destroy it? So we believe in party supremacy if it was properly attended to.
Yeah. So even, thank you very much, clarification, Prince, thank you very much, Prince, for the clarification. So you're saying that even as we're waiting for the party to, your party to maybe even decide on how to proceed further following these kind of interjections coming from your very good self and other respected members of the party of Southeastern extraction, have you not been able to, through the caucus system or whatever, been able to talk with the party? And if so, what are the sort of what are the directions? What are the instances that you are getting from the party? Are you getting that? Look, this is a done deal. Can we all just work with it? Because you said that what has your region got? I imagine that all of this is known and that people will get that which they are deserved, but it depends on who is deciding who deserves what. People will definitely. Me personally, if we first of all say that I don't know very much about it, but me personally, I can't imagine that the Southeast will be hard done by when it comes to this matter of what does anybody get. But the Senate president itself, the Senate presidency itself, which is what you see, what you are saying, leave every other thing. Let's deal with the Senate presidency. That is our, I don't know that you're saying right, but it would be fair to give that to us. Am I correct?
Yes, that's what it is, because that is what is part of what is remaining. We cannot be asking for presidency anymore. It has been
Senate president.
And we also passed it and we work for it. Yeah, Senate president. That's what we're saying. It's part of what is remaining. The president is gone. The vice president of the nation is gone. So the next thing is Senate president. That's why we're starting from there.
Okay. Okay. Well, one moment, please. Let's bring on Steve, who is calling in from Abuja to join the conversation. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in
the studio. All right. I think my little contribution would be in a country where the last government came with a lot of. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. The last administration came with a lot of nepotism and division, ethnic and religious issues. I think this present government should be more of togetherness, preach love, unity, and also have a good consensus program that will not marginalize, or there should be no perceived marginalization in the issue of one nation, one Nigeria. You will agree with me that from the onset, let's even drop the IPOP issue, the Southeast, let's forget about the past. Let's face the future. People, whenever I listen to people on TV and on radio, you see people bringing history and say the Chuba Kadigo, this one, the Southeast have had this one. Let's forget about the past. The future is what we are talking about. If there's any passive marginalization, it will create more harm to the leadership of Tinubu. What they should be focused on right now is to see where they will amend all the broken hearts, all the regions that have been marginalized, and create a citizenship ownership That's why Americans are progressing, because they create a citizenship ownership. Nigerians don't. Whenever you see any leader emerges as a president, you see people keep hatching and patching around just to get what they want, whereas they should be having an ownership, citizenship mentality by bringing everybody together. Now, the Southeast, if you check in the hierarchy right now, you can't pinpoint 2, 3 good positions by the Southeast. And you can't do without these people. These people are all over the world. They're all over in Nigeria. Now, the North Central, they are known for different things. So what I'm saying, I don't want to make it look like I'm speaking on behalf of the Southeast people, because I'm not an Igbo man myself. But of course, I marry from an Igbo extraction. But the thing of the matter is this: if this government wants to get it right, they must ensure that they have that citizenship ownership by inclusion. Government is the best for Nigeria. Thank you, Uncle Yuri, and God bless.
Thank you very much for calling in, Steve. Prince, Steve, used the expression perceived marginalization. I guess there's marginalization and then there's perceived marginalization, because I guess it is he who wears the shoe that knows where it is pinching. So that's, whereas other people might say they don't quite understand what marginalization is all about in this particular equation, but then Steve said, well, in that case, there is a perception, there could be a perception of marginalization. Did you follow, and agree with Steve's line of thought, calling in from Abuja?
Yeah, you see, in semantics, you can be a little bit euphemistic, so that you don't attract a lot of argument. When people say perceived marginalization, it is just being cautious to sound nice to the other side. But there is, in the case of marginalization of the Southeast, it's not perceived, it's there. And it's not what I've come here today to enumerate. It is there, even from the last government, which is under our party. When we don't have even one person in the security apparatus of the nation, what do you call it? Yet we have an uproar in the Southeast caused by IPOP and some bandits and some other people. We are part of the nation suffering the same insecurity for 8 years. You didn't think it was wise, or we don't have people who are qualified. How do you label it? Are you perceiving it, or are you seeing it? So we know what to do, what to say, but sometimes, because it's a collective endeavor, we have to be a little bit euphemistic. But apart from that too, actually, perception is everything. If people perceive and you don't try to dissuade the perception, then you are letting it be reality. So perception is everything, one, but apart from euphemism, it is not perception, it is reality. I can enumerate it, but it's not the topic of the day. I just gave you one example. Or if you may answer me, I'm not questioning you, but you can keep quiet. Were we in the security apparatus for 8 years? A big Southeast, having their own turmoil and problems like others. You didn't deem it fit, or we don't have people who are qualified. That is total marginalization.
Okay, one moment, please. Let me bring in Ahmed, calling in from Abuja. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me, Uncle Yori?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Very good, very good. I greet your guest, and I just want to remind him that Nigeria, what we are practicing is democracy. And democracy is a government for the people, by the people, and for the people. And your effort and your performance can now pay you what you are looking for. The question we are asking is that how many votes did Southeast produce to this government in center? The only state we have in Southeast is Imo and Ebonyi. Those are the true APC state we know. And they are doing APC wholeheartedly, with their, more especially Uzo Diba and the past governor of Ebonyi State. Those are the true members of APC that I know, that they are members of APC, because they are diehard members of APC. But what we are saying is that how many votes has the other state produced for APC? That is what we are saying. Abia, how many? 4,000 votes? Tinubu, 4,000 votes? Those are the states we now give them Senate president? It's not fair. It's not fair. Please, let's be sincere to ourselves. Let's go to a place, because we are forgetting 2023 now. We are heading to 2027. This is our plan now. We are no more talking of 2023. We are planning 2027. That is why we need somebody that can bring more votes from those zones, more especially Southeast and South. That's why we are rooting for Fabio to be Senate president from there. Thank you, and have a nice celebration, Uncle Larry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed, calling in from Abuja. Okay, welcome back, and our guest this morning is APC Chieftain Prince Ekenyem Nwafo Orizu, and we're discussing the subject matter of the Senate presidency and the quest of the Southeast for it. Prince Nwafo Orizu is saying that he cannot understand why the Southeast, why there's this much of a fuss about it. He feels that it is well deserved. Now, newspaper headlines this morning say that 75 senators elect are backing Akpabio, according to Ndume. But I'm going to come back to Prince Nwafo Orizu. But in the meantime, let me just quickly get Mr. Adedeji in Ibadan's contribution out of the way. Good morning, Mr. Adedeji.
Adedapo, please.
It's Adedapo. I'm so sorry. Good morning, Mr. Adedapo.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
I've been a great admirer of TVC. Yes. Good morning. I'm an elder person. I'm 60 plus, and I've been an admirer of TVC and your programs. What we are discussing this morning about Senate presidency going to the Southeast. You see, I'm not a current member of APC, but I've been following APC, and I have great sentiments for APC. If APC is going to do it too well, you see, if you allow the Southeast to have Senate presidency, it is a way of telling even those who don't believe in APC that, okay, though not much votes come out from Southeast, but because the president believes in one Nigeria, and he has always been preaching it from the beginning, that we never sidetrack any other region. If we allow Southeast to have it, then, like that gentleman was saying, they have something to take home for the people of Southeast. People talking there in the Southeast, and okay, we are being marginalized, and they are not giving us very good positions. The members of APC that are from Southeast will be able to shut their mouth. After all, you are criticizing us that we are not getting anything from APC, but this is what we have gotten. For the fact being that Obi came out from the Southeast, that was what made APC not to be able to get something too reasonable from that place. I'll be against Uzo Kalu having it. The gentleman was talking of an organizing secretary of APC from that zone. It would have been given to them. The other senators would have rallied around against them and let them have it. So it should not be an inclusion that, okay, every other part are being included. It's a way of, although you did not give us so much votes, but this is what we have gotten. The next 2027 we are talking of, I bet you will see everybody from that area giving it to APC. So that's my solution.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for contributing it, Mr. Adedapo, calling in from Ibadan. Prince, yes, let me come back to you because I think there was an outstanding question that I imagined you would comment upon, and then Adedapo in Ibadan has also brought this, quite frankly, as it appears, there are now two sides to this particular coin.
Yes. The first person who talked before why the thing should go to the South so that by 2027, Babio or the people of South is going to make a lot of impact. That's a very shallow argument. It doesn't even get to anywhere. Because what the man is trying to say is that because supposedly the Southeast did not perform as expected, they should be yanked off. They should be forgotten. Simply because we did not. Let me draw you to something. If you remember too, that the South is not the most contributive voting we had in this election. The Northwest had more votes. The North Central have more votes. So in line with what he's saying, why waste the seat to South? Why don't you just give it to Northwest and North Central? Because they perform very well, so we give it all to them so that they keep performing. By his argument. You don't treat people that way. And let me also bring attention to something people don't understand when they play double standard. What is actually the purpose of zoning? The purpose of quota system? The purpose of taking care of disadvantaged region or people? It is just to fill in the gap of the deficiency. There wouldn't have been any need to zone to anywhere if it's the winner takes it all. But nature has made it that all hands are not equal in a particular situation. So for inclusivity and fairness, you have to make provision for that is weak or for he that is weak. If he starts saying it that way, then some of us might also want to look at other spheres of life in governance in Nigeria. There are areas the Southeast is towering. But in those areas, they tell you educationally disadvantaged. Why are they disadvantaged? You should let them go to where they want to go. And the people with advantage to that, we keep on picking all the posts and picking all the exams and passing it. But it doesn't work that way. They are considered. In JAMB examination, different marks come from different states. Why? Because some people somehow are luckier to be making it better, and the other people are lagging behind. What do? You yank them off, and then the other people move on. How do you build a nation from there? So let nobody tell me that, actually, because it's not good for the nation. That's what I'm trying to say. We must always consider fairness, zoning,
all right,
quota system. That is what I'm saying, for the goodness of everybody.
Let me quickly bring in Chris in Enugu, who has been holding on for a while. Thank you very much, Chris. Go ahead now.
Hello, Mr. Yuri.
Hello. Good morning, Chris.
Yes, your guest is still speaking as I'm watching him now. Hello.
Yes, go right ahead with your contribution, Chris.
Yes, I think the point has been. I think the point has been well made. Yes, the point has been well made by your. The point has been well made by your guest. Yeah? That in the environment of ethnic sentiment in Nigerian politics,
please don't listen to yourself. Don't listen to the echo. Just continue, please. Okay, I guess Chris couldn't sort of resist. It is a bit intriguing to be hearing yourself after you have said something. So Chris concentrated on that, unfortunately, and we lost him. But, you know, as you were saying, Prince, you were explaining that different sort of structures are put in place for, in order to help balance the field. And in different endeavors, whatever it is. It might be education, it might be politics, it might be anything. But because of the nature of our nation, this is why this. And so that seems to be what you're saying, because you asked the rhetorical question. So what are you going to do? Are you going to just cut them off, throw them off, even as others are making the argument of, the political contribution of the area, which you have faulted already, and said that doesn't really hold water. Again, I believe in your expression, if fairness is going to apply here, You've also said that the conversation should not be confused by going national, as it were, and going back in history and trying to enumerate the number of Senate presidents that are of Igbo extraction. That also is not helpful. Coming now to APC, your party, of which you are an elder, you are a chieftain. You explained at the top that, look, right now, when you look at the mix, 109 senators, 50, are from opposition, 59 from the APC. So anything could happen. All you just need is a few members, and then anything could happen. But then what do you say against the news this morning that 75 senators-elect are reported to be backing Akpabio, according to Senator Ndume? Anybody can say anything, but at least that has made headlines. Does that make any difference?
No, not at all. Because, this business, people who believe in something come up with information the way they like it. Brandishing these numbers is part of the game. I'm not arguing they don't have 75, because I wouldn't know the numbers they have. I know what we have, and even if what we have is still not a guarantee. Because I tell you something, this Senate presidency, the way the election works, is like in the Vatican. It's a secret voting pattern. And there is no way to know where the line is going till the smoke comes out when they vote a pope. So it is only when the vote has taken place and counted, then we know who has won. It is not by having 75, which they may have, I wish them luck, but the issue is, if you already have 75, why bother yourself? Why don't you just leave some other people to waste their time? Why are you bothering? Why are you consulting? Why are you going to meetings? You have 75. The deal is done. So
you say this is the usual political game. This could be. It could be the usual political game. Let me bring in Mike. Mike has called in from Ikeja. Good morning to you, sir. Mike. I'm hearing that we just lost that caller, Mike, out of Ikeja. So you were just saying, Prince, that this is not news or strange to you. It's very much in the nature of how you people do what you do. And by you people, I mean politicians.
Exactly. And you can see, because I don't want to go personal, because I don't have a personal thing against anybody. We're just trying to say this is what we think is right. And we want to convince the nation, convince the senators, please look into this. Use your wisdom. Please, we are not forcing anybody. We are saying, please, this is due us. Can you consider that? You can't force them. They have a right to understand you, agree with you, or not. But as far as numbers are concerned, one second, you can see by evening that number, another person will say is 39. It has been happening throughout the week. So there is nothing about number. I think this is morning delivery. Evening delivery we have to wait for.
Indeed. And as you've just sort of further explained, it's not as if you have a personal interest in any one individual senator, but it's about the principle of the thing and fairness, the perception of fairness in the Southeast, right?
No. One is to Southeast. With these reasons and these appeals I've been making, it's an appeal.
Okay. Let me. Sorry, sir. I beg your pardon for interrupting you, but I beg your pardon for interrupting you, but Abbas is on the phone out of Ikeja. He's waiting. Okay. Let me put him on, and then you can continue. Good morning, Mr. Abbas.
Good morning, Antiori.
Thank you for calling in.
Nice to hear from you.
Indeed. Thank you.
And good morning to your guests.
Yes.
Antiori, this issue of Senate President, one Nigeria. So let these senators come together and make them do what is right. Watching them bring all Nigeria together, everybody feel like Nigeria. No, so somebody say I come from this and I'm marginalized. So we don't want that. So if we look the world, all world in general, we have problem, but let's solve our own here. So I beg, thank you very much, and I appreciate your program.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You. And the another thing, I want to hear from one of our callers. Let me the guy name first.
Okay. You're still expecting some of the usual suspects to call in. They well might. But Mr. Abbas, what are you saying exactly? Oh, he's gone. Well, it seemed to me that he just wanted Nigeria to be fair and to be peaceful, and I didn't quite understand him, but it's like, let there be no strife. If people are asking for something and it seems reasonable, let it be. That seems to be as much as he was going to contribute. But I had to interrupt you, sir, and I'm sorry. So if you'd like to, you could please continue that train of thought you were on when I interrupted you to go to that caller. The perception of fairness. Okay. Please go on, sir, if you will.
Is that me?
Yes, you. We've lost that caller. I mean, okay. No, we finished with that caller. That is for fine. You, Prince.
Yes. Okay. Fine. And you were saying whether I have a particular person in mind. Yes, I was driving the case for Southeast. But in Southeast, actually, it's made up of people. And some senators were elected, and they are qualified. But like in animal farms, some are more qualified than the other. I am for Osita Izunaso. And when I talked before, I told you why. Mm-hmm. And I told you one of the major reasons, in fact, I can categorize them. Let us take integrity. Forget all this. We are talking of Nigeria here. We are talking of integrity. Nobody outside this country knows whether you are this person, Oibo or Yoruba or Efik or so. They are looking at the integrity of the person leading the legislature. And if you look at that, compare him. There are people who are having cases hanging on their neck. It doesn't mean they are at fault or that they committed any crime or they've been convicted. But you and me know very much well, if you have a case going on in any endeavor in the world, be it application for job, be it application for visa, they will always ask you, have you been convicted before? Are you under trial? Have you entered before and they rejected you? Why are they asking all these questions? It shapes their mind. You can't compare yourself with somebody who is unblemished. So
all right, then.
And I've been in public service enough to have been tempted to get involved. Up to now, nothing. So on integrity, one. If you look at it also from contribution to the party, none of these people had worked for the party. The party is the platform on which all these people are standing when they joined. So, like I said before, if the president-elect then was saying, or before then, when he was even a candidate, was saying, Emiloko, it's my turn. What he was saying is, by my contribution, I deserve it now. To APC,
okay.
Not to Nigeria.
Let me not use Adekunle. Adekunle has called in from Ibadan. I'm so sorry. Adekunle in Ibadan, good morning to you. Please go ahead. Thank you for holding on.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Yes, good morning, sir. Quickly, please.
It's Adekunle from Abeokuta, not Ibadan, please.
So sorry. Today is one of those days.
Thank you.
Adekunle in Abeokuta.
Yes, my greetings to your guest in the studio.
Thank you.
I think what we are having here is, in my own opinion, is about trust. Hello?
About trust.
Yeah, it's about trust.
Okay.
The Southeasterners cannot continue to remain in opposition, and they want, their own share from government. They cannot continue to be in opposition. At least this is a way going forward. In subsequent elections, let them try and be with the winning team. If you look at the politics of the South since 1999, they have always been in opposition. Igbo people are good people, I've worked with them, I've mixed with them, but when it comes to politics, they always want to stand out. I think that is one factor that is, playing against them. And two, let me also use this opportunity to tell your guests in the studio to please work on the Southeasterners youth. The way they portray the image of the Southeasterners on social media, they do it as if they don't want to have anything to do with any other region. It has to be them alone. I'm talking of the youth now. So
okay. You know what? Thank you very much. That's as much as we can take from there. Maybe Prince Nwafo Orizu will like to comment on, your contribution.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Sorry, before I get into that, I want to conclude the other one because
Please, sir.
it's very essential to me.
Be very brief. We have about a minute left.
Yes, I'm being brief. I'm saying,
okay,
if Senator Osita Izinaso was there from onset, gave his services very much well, appreciated by the party from interim to the time we got power from PDP, and he's qualified, having been a ranking senator, and no baggage, he deserves to be considered seriously. It's
okay,
an appeal.
all right.
Coming back to what the gentleman from Abeokuta said, I think he was just making an advice, which I wouldn't want to over-argue, but I keep on saying the same thing. They said the people from Southeast plays this type of politics. My take, generally, about it is the people from Southeast are playing normal politics. There is nothing they are doing that is different from what other regions are doing. The difference is this. When your thoughts and ideas get successful, then it looks like you visited God. There was nothing wrong we have done. In 1999, we voted Obasanjo, we voted Yaradua, we voted Jonathan en masse, we voted Atiku, even if he did not win then. So if people felt that their son came and they should vote for him, believe you me, I think it's human nature. There is nothing wrong about it. The issue is, what did Obasanjo do when the Yorubas, the Southwest, did not vote for him? What he did was to call them back, offer them juicy situations, convince them why they should join the national politics, and they did. What if Obasanjo had a mindset of excluding them? Do you think that the smartness of the Southwest people will lead them to anywhere? He got them on board. Get us on board. How am I going to go to Southeast and keep convincing these youths he's talking about that I'm an APC and they should listen to me? Listen to me for what? What would they ask me?
You know, I thank you very much. Prince, thank you very, very much. We've completely run out of time, but I must thank you, Prince, for making time available out of your schedule for us this morning. Thank you very much, APC chieftain, and son of Nigeria's first Senate president and first acting president of Nigeria, Prince Ekenyem Nwafo Orizu. That's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.